Has Agradaa been released? Now, yesterday, the Office of the President released a communique stating that the President has granted 998 prisoners presidential pardon. Now, what this means is that 998 prisoners have been completely freed. Now, this is the dark side of presidential pardon that no one is really talking about. If not even the dark side, this is one aspect of presidential pardon that no one has really said or people do not really know. Now, before that, what does the law say about this? Does the president have the right to free these prisoners even to an extent where he reduced most of them their sentence? Now, let's see what the law says. First, 778 prisoners have completely been freed, meaning if they ever committed a crime, if they've been sentenced to death, sentenced to life imprisonment, sentenced for 3 years, 5 years, these 787 prisoners have completely been freed. Now, 87 people who were on death penalty have had their sentence reduced to life imprisonment. Until the recent amendment of the Criminal Act of Ghana, which is the criminal laws or the laws that states that this is an offense, that is an offense. Until the recent changes, people that murdered were liable to suffer murder, meaning anyone who murders would be murdered. I mean, anyone who murders would be sentenced to death. So now people on death penalty and other offenses which resulted in them getting the death penalty have now had, that is 87 of them, have had their sentence reduced from death penalty to life imprisonment. Now, interestingly, 51 people on life imprisonment sentence have had their sentence also reduced to 20 years. 33 people that are severely ill have been freed, so they have health issues and have completely been freed. Now, aside that, 36 people aged over 70 have also been freed completely, irrespective of the offense they committed. So these 36 people have completely been freed because they are above 70 years, maybe because they are nearing what we suffer in life for. Now, 2 nursing mothers have completely been freed, and 2 people who submitted petitions to the president has also been freed. Now, according to Article 72 of the Constitution of Ghana, the president has every right, however, he has to consult the Council of State, that is the elders of the country. We are going to read it together, to grant pardon to people who have been convicted, to free people who have been imprisoned. And not just that, the president also has the right to, if not free them, reduce their sentence from a severe sentence to a lesser sentence or a less serious punishment. That is why in the communique you can see that people from death penalty or death sentence has been reduced to life imprisonment to 20 years, and you can mention them. Now, to the dark side about this, but even before we enter into that, now let's answer the question whether or not Agradaa has been released. Now, this is something that has been going or trending on social media for just some few hours now, because people are stating that she may have been part of those that have been released. Is that true? I'm not an insider. I do not have the information to that. However, I highly doubt, because she is not a first-time offender. Therefore, she does not qualify or fall within the list of persons that have been granted the pardon, unless she's part of the 2 people that petitioned the president, or she's a nursing mother. So till the news is out, we cannot confirm that. Now, to the dark side, or the side that people are not really talking about, so not necessarily the dark side, but the side people are not really talking about of presidential pardon, is the fact that it does not waive off the consequences of conviction. Now, what I mean is that it does not wipe or clearly cleanse you. The fact that you are pardoned does not mean you did not commit the offense. I mean, your criminal records can still be used against you, and especially when you want to assess, or when you want to enjoy, or when you want to enter into public service, or you want a public service position like an MP, president, or vice president. Remember, according to Article 94 Clause C, a person who have been convicted of a criminal offense, high treason, high crimes, have been given death penalty, has been sentenced to prison for more than 10 years, then these people do not qualify to become a member of parliament. And remember, once you do not qualify to become a member of parliament, you do not qualify to become a president or a vice president. And this position was even accepted in the Republic versus Chachichikata case, where Hey God, where Chachichi Kata was granted a pardon. See, I'm over happy. Where Chachichi Kata was granted a pardon by the president for yes, but then he still appealed. Now the court had to give a distinction between appeal and presidential pardon, and the court openly accepted that while they may all be similar, because an appeal can quash the decision of the previous court, meaning you would no longer be in prison, and the presidential pardon also removes you from prison. The presidential pardon does not cleanse or pronounce you not guilty, making you eligible for public office. No, the presidential pardon simply means you've been freed from incarceration, you've been freed from prison, you are allowed to go home, but then it does not clear your record. And that it is only the court that has the power to do that. So while the president can grant you a presidential pardon, it does not mean it clears off your criminal records. Therefore, it could be used against you. If you are filling forms, you cannot state that you've never been convicted before. You would have to put it there that you've been convicted before. The fact that you've been pardoned does not clear your criminal records. That is why Chachichi Kata in his case still further went on to appeal to prove his innocence. We can go on to discuss real Dakar issues or real Dakar sides like the president granting pardon to his members or his party members and the likes, but all these have been addressed in cases. like Eli Clem Agbemava versus the Attorney General and the likes. And if you are thinking of how I've been able to be mentioning cases like this, I mean, it's simply Esquire, an AI that I've been using. So I just discovered it recently and it has been helping me a lot in terms of legal research. It's very good for lawyers, law students. I mean, just go, I'll try and make a link available in the description. Just go type any legal case you want or anything you want, and Esquire will give it to you. I mean, it would even give you legal positions and give you citations. You tap the citations. This is not an advert. This is not an advertisement, so it's fine. But the Esquire app or the Esquire AI is very crazy. Just search the internet and ask it any question. Now let's dive further by reading this constitutional provision, starting from Article 94, then we move to Article 72, then we just end the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I mean, you might be watching this and not subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. I've realized that the TikTok, the Instagram does not give me the room, the space to dive deeper. And as you can see, I'm naked. I mean, once a lawyer, a law student appearing before a moot court judge or a real judge does not or is not properly dressed, then it means he's naked before the judge. So I'm naked before you because I mean, this had to be just something quick. So kindly do subscribe. We are going to dive deeper into real legal issues, dissect what again? Well, Article 94 Clause C. And I just realized I've been saying Article 94 Clause C instead of Article 94 Clause 2C. So bear with me. Now let's read it together. Article 94 Clause 2C. A person shall not qualify to be a member of parliament if the person has been convicted for high crime under the constitution or high treason or treason or for an offense involving the security of the state, fraud, dishonesty or moral turpitude, or for other offenses punishable by death or by a sentence of not less than 10 years, or for an offense relating or connected with election under a law in force in Ghana at any time, or has been found by the report blah blah blah. Now this part alone explains the fact that once you are convicted, once you go to prison, once you are in the prison, then you would not qualify to become a member of parliament. You can go and search the Constitution app and read further. If you do not know where to find the Constitution, you can simply search Esquire AI on the internet. Once you search it, just register, ask of any law you want, the 1992 Constitution, anything you want. I'll make a link available in the description where you can find it. Ask of any law you want and it will provide it. That is why I didn't go to read further. I'm just establishing the point that once you are convicted, you do not qualify to become a member of parliament, and same vein, you do not qualify to become the president. And the fact that you've been granted a presidential pardon only means that you have been freed from incarceration, you have been freed from prison. You are no longer going to spend the remaining of your years in prison, but you are going to be freed. However, your sentence. However, the fact that you've been convicted before is not or can never be cleared till you appeal. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm only addressing this. I'm only teaching this because most of us do not know this. My list offended. I think my head is aching me because you've not clicked the subscribe button. I mean, it wouldn't do you anything to click the subscribe button. I want to teach the law. Please help me teach the law. Article 72 of the Constitution. The President may, acting in consultation with the Council of the State, grant a person convicted of an offense a pardon, either free or subjected to lawful conditions, or B, or grant to a person either indefinite or for a specified period from the execution of the punishment imposed on him for an offense. That is, he can grant the pardon indefinite, that is forever, you've been freed completely, or for a specified period. Now, this is not a realistic example, but just so we understand or appreciate a specified period, assuming maybe you've been sentenced to death. Now, I've said this already, even in 2022, that Ghana is a de facto moratorium state. That is a state that has death penalty but does not really practice it. Now, thankfully, it has been removed from most of our laws, but then this is just an explanation so you understand or appreciate this, but it's not a realistic example. I've never seen this happen or heard this happen. Now, for a specified period, assuming you are sentenced to death, assuming you are to be executed tomorrow, it means that he can grant you pardon for a specified period for maybe 3 years for you not to be executed. You understand? For a specified period. You can make examples out of this. Once again, this is not something that happened or has happened or I've heard of. It's just something to appreciate what you are reading. Now, the C. Substitute a less severe form of punishment for a punishment imposed on a person for an offense. Just as you can see in the communique that was released, people had their death sentence reduced to life imprisonment reduced to 20 years. And I wonder how many mistakes I've done in this video, and I just want to share this video like that. Once again, I'm in a hurry. I'm naked before you because I am not dressed appropriately. Now it continues to the D, but we are not going there. You can check the Constitution out for yourself, Article 72, and read it. Once again, if you are searching for the Constitution, please, it's available on the internet. But mostly these laws might be hard to find. That is why I always use Esquire. I go to Esquire. Once again, this is not an advert, so I'll not go more into what they do. But then I go to Esquire, search for the law, find it, search for a legal principle, find it. That is it. So you can search Esquire, search the Constitution, and read it for yourself. Once again, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. There is more that is going to come. I want to give you the best of the best of the best. I want to give you the best of the best. I want to give you the best of the best of the best. That is why you'd see in this video that most of the parts have not been cut, and I'm just giving it to you like that, just for you to subscribe. First video or first day of giving myself fully to you. Don't forget, I'm Yuda Brown. This is the Law Ghana. Till we meet again, stay safe.